Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Coachable Moments. I am your host, Pat GPT, and I want to take a second and talk to you guys about the current season that we are in, and make sure that you are mentally sound and mentally prepared for this season. So, with that mission in mind, I want to talk to you today about uh, a scene from a very popular movie, my personal favorite movie of all time, Coming to America, starring Eddie Murphy. And in this movie, after Eddie, or should I say, Akeem, had went out on his date with Lisa, he was walking back to his apartment and he was singing the song "To Be Loved." Oh, what a feeling to be loved! And I wanted to deliver that and deposit that into your spirit today, that it is such an amazing feeling to be loved by the ones that you love. And this topic came to me because over the last few days, I've talked to several people, and the resounding emotion is stress and anxiety because this season that we're in is the holiday season. And along with that holiday season, we are marketed to on every corner. Like, we on our phones, we're getting alerts from all of the department stores about the sales that are going on. We're seeing billboards on every corner that we drive, through these neighborhoods. We're seeing promotions for things. And, you know, you got the people ringing the bell at the mall. You can't go anywhere without the requests for money. People want money to help the homeless, to help the less fortunate, even though some of you may qualify as less fortunate at this period of time. So I know sometimes I, I've had the moment, I've had the thought that I just want to walk up to them and tell them to give me some of the money they collected, because I may not have been in the best position in life at that particular time. Thank God I'm in a much better place today, but I've had moments where I just didn't have it to give. And so many of my friends and family that I talk to are feeling the pressure of the holiday season. And they may not have the $500 to buy the PS5 after they pay their rent, power bill, car payment, insurance, all of the stuff that we have to pay every single month. When it comes to December 25th, we get these extra bills that most people don't plan for it. They don't save money throughout the year, because they're barely making enough per paycheck to make ends meet, much less splurge on all of these extra things to show people that we love them. And if you think about that for a moment, the pressures that come during this season cause, it creates a variety of outcomes. You know, During this time, rates of suicide go through the roof. People overdose or do something tragic to themselves because they don't feel they don't feel like they're worthy, or they don't feel adequate because they can't do the things that they see everybody else doing. And that feeling where you're driving by other houses in the neighborhood and you see the 85-inch TV box sitting outside next to the curb, and your husband may want an 85-inch TV, but you just didn't have it to do. So it creates sometimes internal pressures inside of people, because in their heart they would do it if they had it to do, but they don't have it to do because they've barely gotten by the last 11 months just making the ends meet. And after I watched that movie, To Be Loved, it just resonated with me more so today, because you may not have the extra money to give people a fancy gift, but the one thing that you have an abundance of is love. And to be able to walk up and hug your husband, wife, your son or daughter, your grandchild. That in itself is one of the biggest gifts that you could receive or give during this season. And I think it's important for people to put love back into the proper perspective. Just because I don't have the money to buy you that item that you've been wanting doesn't mean that I don't love you. I just don't have it to give. Or I may have it to give, but just because I buy it, that doesn't mean that I love you. That just means I had the money to do it. I love you regardless of whether I buy the thing or not. And I think as young adults and children, we have the idea of love mixed up. And you got to know that your parents love you whether they buy you the thing or not. They just may be in a place at this time where they can't. Doesn't mean that you're not loved. It just means that it was more important to pay the rent and the lights than to cash out on a PlayStation 5. And a lot of people are in relationships. They're dating, or whether they're married. And there are some people that are high demand people. They expect a lot of expensive gifts around this time of the year. They expect lavish outpourings of your finances in order to feel loved. And I would challenge you to have those conversations and explain to them that that is not an indication that I love you. It's just an indication that I had the money to spend. And once people get back into into a better place within themselves, and they can pull away from the worldly things and really hone in on what's important. And that is giving and receiving love to each other. And once you do that, it makes the holidays so much more enjoyable. One thing that I always tell my children, my two sons, they're 24 and 20 years old. And I know that for them, they love their dad without question. I have no doubts about that. If no one else in the world loves me, I know that those two boys do. But I always call them and we talk about it because I stay in tune with them. I know how things are going in their lives financially and emotionally and other various ways. And I always express to them, do not spend money on me that you cannot afford to spend, because I'm not going to spend money on you that I cannot afford to spend. We love on each other all year long, every single day. And that love may look different. It may be spending time together, grabbing lunch. It could be a hug. It could be a phone call or an expression of that love. And it's more enjoyable than ever receiving any kind of gift from them, because that doesn't mean they love me. That just means they had some income that they disposed of in order to demonstrate their love for me. But that is not love in itself. So I like to remove that obligation or that feeling that you have to buy me anything in order to make my Christmas better. It doesn't. If I'm blessed to be able to just lay eyes on you and reach over and hug you, then my holiday is complete. And for many of my listeners, I just wanted to get on and express that, these gifts are not the reason for the season at all. I won't get churchy on you or anything like that, but I will challenge you to focus on the real meaning of the holiday season. Take time to call that loved one that you haven't talked to in a while, the one that you've been avoiding, you know who he or she is. The one that's been bothering you in your spirit, making you toss and turn because you know you need to call and work out whatever the issue is that you need to work out. Uh, the best demonstration of love during this holiday season is to pick up the phone, call them, let them know that whatever the issue is, it's a non-issue. I love you, and we can talk it out as adults. One of the things I did more of this year is personal therapy, counseling, whatever you want to call it. It's all good. None of it is weak words. It is positive uh, additions to my life, whatever you want to call it. I know over the last several decades, the word counseling or therapy has had a negative connotation, or a negative outlook in our society. But it's highly important that you invest in yourself, find ways to close gaps on areas that you know you're not really strong in. Emotional intelligence is something that can be curated. It's something that you can build, but only if you take a chance to get to know yourself and really dig into who you are, why you're made the way you're made, how did some of your thought processes form in your head. And once you really dig into that, you can really improve your emotional intelligence. You can really be more real with yourself. All of the illusions that are presented to us as Americans, it's nothing but marketing. You know, we're taught to believe that this is the time you should take advantage of all these sales, and that you should buy people all of these things that you can't afford in order to make your holiday season brighter. And it's nothing but false information. If you, instead of buying all of this stuff, take the take the holiday season to correct some of the relationships that are strained or damaged or broken, whatever the case may be. And I guarantee you, you will have a much better year the following year if you would take that time to fix those broken spots in your life. Now, I'm not telling you to open yourself up completely to people that have hurt you, but at least create a channel of communication to the degree that you can handle it. I'm not expecting you to talk every day to someone that you haven't talked to in a whole year, but at least remove that idea that we don't talk or we can't talk or I hate you so much that you shouldn't call my phone. Remove those thoughts and open yourself up to the possibility of repairing some of the relationships that may be strained over something simple, something that really wasn't worth damaging the relationship in the first place. Because if you really think about it, to be loved is one of the best gifts of the season. To not have bad vibes with people is one of the greatest things that you can bring to your life. Um, but I just wanted to stop in and wish you guys a happy holiday season. If you've got food on the table, it may not be a turkey and dressing and all of the fixings, but if you got food on your table, you can eat and you can sit around and you can laugh and joke with your family and your friends about old memories. You may play some spades or some dominoes or whatever your family does traditionally. If you're able to do that, you are blessed beyond measure because there's so many people that are not here in 2023. If you recall, just 2 years ago, we were losing. COVID was one of those things that really shifted our culture. People that had experienced just the freedom of life to be able to go and come as they please were now confined to the four walls of their residence, and didn't feel safe to go to the grocery store, the mailbox, or anything without gloves, mask, and hand sanitizer. So to be 2 years removed from that time period, it's the thought of losing people that we don't have an opportunity to repair damaged relationships. I say it takes a big person to pick up that phone and call someone that they may not be in a good place with the intentions of repairing at least the line of communication. I'm not naive to think that you'll fix everything just with a phone call, but at least the line of communication will be open and it'll be there in those cases where you desire to make those steps. I mean, there may be some wrong that's done that you may consider beyond repair. And if that's your perspective on it, then I respect that. But the relationships that may be strained over something so minimal, I challenge you that during this holiday season to try to work those out and repair those that you can. I won't drag this out any longer. I just want to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Take the time to tell your loved ones that you love them. The ones that you're physically able to see and hug, take advantage of every moment of that because tomorrow is not promised. And today is just a perfect day as any to express your love for those that you care about. Be blessed.